Hey, you are along for the ride with Mad Dog and Cole, the T-Rex Moto Farrell.
Endurocross, not the sport of the short person.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
And welcome to episode 61. And no, listeners, we have not forgotten about you. We have not given up. We've just had a couple of travel time frame limitations where we haven't been able to record even on the road. So we'll get to all that in just a minute, right after we thank our awesome partners, Kicker Performance Audio. Find them online, kicker.com, on Instagram at Kicker Audio, and of course on YouTube every other Tuesday night live at Kicker Unmasked Live for their TV show. You can also find them on Facebook at Kicker. Of course, Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com for all your safety eyewear, sunglass, floating eyewear, stylish eyewear, and ultra cool Be Like Mad Dog White Wraps Matter eyewear. Bombereyewear.com. Find them on Instagram at Bomber Eyewear. Man, of course, the Premix podcast, our boy Cole sharing his passion for all things desert through the lens of a camera, and all those desert racing hot shots, bangers, whatever you want to call them, he's got them. And even available to do some open mic nights, MC work, event announcing work. Man, dude does it all. Hit him up on Instagram at the Premix Podcast. That's the at symbol ThePremixPodcast. Slide into his DMs and get him booked. Keep in mind, for MC and announcing events, he is booking 2024. So if you needed him this year, you lost already. Get on the schedule for next year now. Of course, Kelsey Morrell Film, making all of our horrible dreams come true on YouTube, where you can see us at MAddOG'S Space Media, and on our YouTube channel, MAddOG, MAddOG Space Media. And you will find Along for the Ride podcast popping up. We're getting more and more up all the time. She's got a lot of editing to do, but we're also on YouTube podcasts. So look us up there. That's Kelsey Morrell Film. If you need film or media work as far as camera work, stills, video editing, even just shorts made, hit her up on Instagram at Kelsey Morrell Film. Of course, Hey Keeks Marketing. Wouldn't be possible to have all our cool social media templates and video clips and all that rad stuff if it wasn't for Hey Keeks Marketing, doing everything from those kind of video clips and social media templates all the way to social media influencer campaigns and website building, website help, website maintenance, whatever you need. You got a problem? Yell, Hey Keeks. Find her online, heykeeks.com, on Instagram at Hey Keeks Marketing. We're so grateful for all our incredible partners, all their contributions, and, just special shout out to each and every one of them. Really appreciate them all. We wouldn't be here without them. speaking of not being here without someone, Cole.
Yeah, we have to take a moment, thank our veterans, thank all of our active duty men and women, all the families of veterans and active duty personnel. We just passed Veterans Day here and the Marine Corps' birthday and all that good stuff, and just a good time to reflect, and everybody who served will tell you, Memorial Days for those who didn't make it back, and Veterans Days for everyone. So definitely need to take a moment and thank all of our first responders, all of our active
Absolutely.
duty, our KIAs, our MIAs, our POWs. Couldn't be here without those people.
Amen. 100%. 100%. And, with that, happy birthday, Marines. We're a little bit late, but definitely to all my Marine friends, um, I'd say Semper Fi, but it wouldn't be the same meaning. So I'll just say happy birthday, Marine. I salute you. Along for the Ride podcast, salute you. And of course, all our veterans, thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate it. With that, we're going to jump right into the most recent. We got some hot stuff from SEMA, but most recent, speaking of Veterans Day, we had the Kicker AMA Endurocross Series, AMA Pro Endurocross Series in Redmond, Oregon last weekend. Um, and it was on Veterans Day. And man, it
Sweet.
started out just so great. They color guard showed up in a like a striker armored vehicle to present the flags, and holy cow, that's the way you start a event, man. I'm telling you, it was awesome. So thank you to all those people that were involved with that. Really appreciate it. Of course, we made the road trip. I think I was home 2 days from SEMA, and had to turn around, get everything ready, prepped, loaded back up. And Striking Viking actually road tripped with me and hung in like a trooper when she wasn't sleeping. Might be sleeping Viking most of the trip. Everybody copes with stress different, I guess. And apparently, riding in the old grinder with the trailer on the back up through the middle of Area 51, Nevada is stressful because there was a lot of sleeping going on. But no, seriously, it was a great trip. It was cold, man, cold up there. Fought headwinds. Just all part of being along for the ride, folks. But if you haven't hit the headwinds and crosswind swirls up through central Nevada on the 95, towing a trailer, trying to maintain just slightly over the speed limit, you haven't really lived. I'm telling you,
It'll make a man out of you.
it'll definitely put hair under your nose for sure. So, um, man, that being said, great trip. Um, Super thankful and blessed. Just not gonna lie, I was praying no snow, no snow, no snow. We didn't get any weather at all. Pretty much the whole weekend until we left. Um, and road trip wise, it was pretty solid. Didn't have much for problems on the way up. We got up there Thursday just in time for coffee. So, of course, we stopped into the Revs and my mom's house and had a Thursday afternoon coffee, which was pretty rad.
Man, it's like your two favorite things, coffee and your family.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was great to see him and so awesome. And my brother came up um, and his wife, so we got a good little visit in before I had to go up and drop a trailer at the arena. Um, got up there, dropped a trailer at the arena, checked in with the arena cross crew. They were doing good, building track like crazy. Very creative track. And I will get into that a little bit here in just a minute. But we got checked into the hotel, and then Friday, of course, went in and set everything up. And super shout out to the Hammock family, the owners of the Kicker Endurocross and the Kicker Monster Truck National Series. Um, Todd was doing double duty down at Reno for the monster trucks. Karen had the reins for Endurocross, and of course Adam and Katie, and then Jack Jackson, the media manager. Um, Extra shout out, Karen, get me lined out with wristbands for the dealer I had come in, and our the Kicker regional rep, and then Katie. Extra special shout out to Katie for getting me hooked up for my dad, my brother, his wife, my niece, her husband, and their two kids, all in VIP tickets and literally front row. I'm sure you watched the race, so they were front row right in front of the tire to log jump.
I have to check the DVR now.
Yeah, it was pretty rad. So they were super stoked. But we got all built out, got everything set up. A nice little end zone piece where I was able to put up the Kicker 10 by 20 pop up and get the newly refreshed Razor up there, which we'll get into, on the SEMA side. Um, super great spot to be. Pretty much every video I've seen from Smagicals to Endurocross has had at one point has had the action sports canopies Kicker performance audio pop up in the background, just lit up like a beacon. And thank you to Action Sports Canopies, non-paid promotion, but they got us in short order, got me a new top. The topper to that one is well over 2 years old, and has seen, of course, in 2 years, 60 or 70 shows, mostly outdoors, and a lot of racing, a lot of dirt, and a lot of rain. And so it was due, and I flopped a new one on there Friday and then got everything set up. And man, uh, got done at a decent time. And Viking and I hooked up with my friend Big Dog, Don Hoem, and his wonderful, amazing wife, Marnie. Don is a veteran, multiple tours in the Middle East during Storm 1 and Storm 2, I call them. I don't know what the technical terms are, but I'm very grateful for his giving and his service. And, he's now a chaplain with the Central Oregon division of the Christian Motorcyclists Association. So it was fantastic. It was good for my heart and good for my soul to be able to sit down and have dinner with them and just be really appreciative. Hear some of his stories and some of the things he survived a lot of the similar injuries that I have. And we've had a lot of similar surgeries. So we had a lot to talk about. And probably the biggest part about it was how blessed we really are. Um, how the good Lord has allowed us to do what we do and enjoy what we do, and really be blessed to continue to try to be good people, and good disciples. So that was really special, really good time. Of course, on to Saturday, race day, man. Um, I went in early, had to get some stuff finished up, and was able to, watch all the pre-running, if you will,
Okay.
practice. And man, just crazy. The track, they did a great job. Randy is just amazing at these things and incredibly creative. And I was disappointed there was no log pile, but the way that he did a couple of the corners with the logs and the way that they did double rock gardens, um, and some of the other obstacles, it was really technical, but really fast. Um, for the pros, especially. I mean, the pros laid pipe, but still, like, you know, going into the what would be, I guess, the last rock garden, if you will. Um, you made a 180, jumped tires to logs. Um, basically made a 180, I think, over a log, and then up a vertical rock garden with a drop down and a short, very, very short flat to a double stacked set of loader tires, but they were offset. So not only set back, but crooked. So you couldn't just shoot straight up in between them, right? If you tried that, you would stuff the nose, which I saw happen several times. I even saw one rider in practice, wasn't a novice. I think he was an intermediate. And he attempted that, stuffed the nose. The bike stood straight up. He basically did a chest stand on the bars and came back down on the seat as the rear tire fell through the middle of the loader tire,
Oh Lord.
hole in the loader tire. And he tried for the entire practice to get the bike out and finally just walked away and left the bike sitting there.
He probably
I've
spent
never
all of
seen
his
such a
energy
thing.
just trying to get
Oh,
the
yeah.
bike out.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like pure exhaustion just trying to walk back to the start gate, you know?
Needed to get the loader to pull the bike out of the loader tires. How ironic.
Yeah, almost, man. I think it took three of them to lift it out. They had
Jeez.
to stand it virtually straight up vertical on the back tire and lift it straight up to get it out. Um, so yeah, it was crazy. Just, I mean, it looked like it didn't look near as tough as last year, but I think it was every bit as tough. You know, it was typical 4 lane arena.
Hmm.
So, they would run down from the gate, they would run straight out and they make a 180 left over the might have been pipe and then the log to tires. So it was two jumps. A lot of the good guys were doubling it. Um, and then it was like a 180 into the almost vertical rock wall with a almost straight drop off down the back into the loader tires, 180 right. Um, and logs, offset logs on the right hander, into the finish double. And the finish double, it was gnarly because the finish double had a very short landing.
I saw that.
Yeah, and then there was a dirt hump to tractor tires. So I saw a lot of people stuffing into those loader tires off of that dirt hump also. Just trying to get woed up and not being able to re-snap it and bounce it up over the hump. Um, and then a 180 into the matrix, and you came straight. And for you that don't know, the matrix is offset, all different angles. They're not necessarily crossways on the racetrack, and they're not spaced even logs, big logs. So all the way, and it was a long matrix this time, almost the full length of the stadium, and then directly into left hand rock garden, and then into a little straight shot into a left hand, um, almost like a mini matrix, but in the middle of a banked corner.
That was my favorite thing. They posted the track preview, and
Yeah.
that got me so hyped up. And not to get on a whole long tangent, but it seems like every year the Supercross track layouts come out, and it's just There's nothing cool, nothing new. Endurocross is the exact opposite, where they get so creative week by week. And that freaking bank turn reminded me of something like Glen Helen, Talladega with
Yeah,
logs on it. I mean, it was so cool. It was the obstacle I was looking forward to the most, and I think I even texted you about that. I'm like, oh, the track looks sick just because of that one obstacle alone.
yeah, yeah, and it provided a lot of action all around the track. And even though it didn't look super complex, it obviously was. When you have guys like Walker and Blazusiak and and even Webb stalled it on the vertical rock wall, you know, but Blazusiak went down on that vertical rock wall.
Really?
And I think Walker went down in practice, I think on your logged out Daytona corner. So all the pros didn't, I don't think any of the top 10 got through practice without stalling or getting stuffed or something, especially first practice. And these, folks, don't like take that lightly. These pros are 10 or 12 of the best enduro riders in the world. Like we have,
Erzberg Rodeo, look it up.
yeah. I mean, we've got people from they've got riders from Australia, England, America,
Germany.
Germany. Um,
Now
I
and then a
think
Frenchman comes over.
Czechoslovakia,
Obviously Poland, unless you said that already
Poland.
for
No,
Bluziak.
I miss Poland, and then the expert class. Interesting in this format, when they get to the night races, and of course there's the intermediate group. The expert group was big. The intermediate group was huge. The novice group was big, and the vet group was big. Um, but like the intermediate group, I think there was three gates trying to make the night show.
Wow.
Which three gates there is 16 riders each gate or 12 riders each gate. So there's almost 40 riders probably trying to make the intermediate class big show on TV.
Everybody was cold in Redmond and just wanted to ride.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The novice class, of course, was highly entertaining as usual.
The working man's class.
Yeah, and while we're talking about classes, I want to give a massive shout out to our good friend David Camo or Camo, however you want to say it. His wonderful wife Rhiannon, love her to death. She opened the ceremony Saturday night with the national anthem, which we have had the unbelievably big honor of announcing her opening shows with the national anthem multiple times, because she used to do the national anthem for us at Invasion. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, it was such, so great, just so great. And so going back to David, he rides the vet class. And not to be a spoiler, if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert, David won the vet class and locked up a championship. So you're like, wow, that's really cool. A race early. Okay, big deal. He, by yesterday, was pre-running in Baja.
Yeah, I was just seeing that on Facebook, on her Facebook. I mean, the dude
Yeah.
is he's
Yesterday
always
or day
been north.
before. Yeah.
See, see, and obviously I like David a lot. And it's funny because he's winning vet and he's so good that he could, to me, he would probably argue, but to me, he could still join the expert class and qualify. To
Oh
me.
yeah. Yeah. I believe so. And that going to that, the interesting format I was talking about is the experts when they open Saturday night show. First moto is the expert main. Top six from the expert main go to the Pro Moto 1, Pro Moto 2, Pro Moto 3. So it really gives everyone in the expert class an opportunity to actually race with the pros, race for the big check and the big trophy. Um, and I think that's a format that you don't see anywhere. And I
No.
think it's brilliant.
Yeah, the only thing I could even think would be comparable would be mixed CC classes of the same skill. I mean, that's which is not nearly the same, but yeah, like you said, I don't think there's anything else quite like that.
Yeah, there's a guy, and I didn't catch his name, which is fine because I probably couldn't pronounce it anyways, from Bulgaria that came over, is riding the expert class, hoping to make the pro class full time next year. Um, and he has been killing it and is becoming a fan favorite. So, and he's doing it on his own dime,
Wow.
privateer, full privateer. So, um, kudos. I don't remember what his name was, but impressive, very impressive. And the racing was, dude, just nuts. It was a great night of racing. Um, it was a great night. I had the local Redmond, Oregon kicker dealer in tune there. Um, George and his team, two of his team members. Um, George has been there 20 years as a dealer. And so, it was really good. He'd never been to anything like this. I was very grateful for their support. My good buddy Scott from Falcon Sales, who's the Northwest rep firm for kicker, um, made the drive over the mountain, which back when I lived up there, we'd call that the trip over the hump, to come over and also support and be there. So stupendous efforts by those guys to come work and hang out, um, and get to watch some racing. And then, of course, my pops was there, my big brother, his wife, my niece, of course, my brother's wife, and my niece had never been to anything like this before, and neither had my great niece or great nephew.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, it was first time for all them, and they were just, of course, with the hookup from Katie on the VIP tickets, they were just in seventh heaven, man.
Good.
They're just so they were so excited and had so much fun, and it was a great night. I was thankful to have a striking Viking there to run and grab me a hot dog and a stadium dog. Um, and so that was really cool. And of course, she helped me pack up. We wrapped the show. It's live, so show's got to be wrapped by 10 completely. So we managed to pack it all in, and then of course it's pack up time, and with her help, I was heading back for the hotel by just shortly after 11. So
Oh, flying.
um, yeah, and then back to being along for the ride, man. We went and had breakfast with my daughter and son-in-law, um, and the Nugget and Little Man, and that was so much fun, so good. Unfortunately, Little Man had a little fever Friday, Thursday, and Friday, so we didn't get to hook up with him. But except for that, you know, 2.5 hours of breakfast. Um, and then we went straight from that to the Vikings pop, and stepmom had driven down. They live about 15 miles north of Redmond, and they drove down, and we had coffee with them, which was exceptional. And then of course headed to back to my parents' place where I got to spend a little bit more time with them. Um, I discovered, you know, it wasn't a completely trouble-free road trip. With about 40 miles to go, uh, I was coming up to a stop, and it was about 30 miles to go. And, I was blowing up pretty good, but I'm like, man, it seems like I should be slowing down a little faster. I looked down and my trailer brake was flashing NC, which means no connection.
No
So Thursday,
bueno.
yeah, no bueno. It kept going, oh, I'm connected, I'm not connected. So obviously, you way adjust your driving style. Huge gaps, lots of extra room just in case.
10 and
Um,
2 up on the wheel.
yeah, yeah. Thank God it was only like 30, 35 miles to my folks' place, where I was able to look at it and see the problem. Looked like the zip ties broke holding the wiring up on the rear axle, and it obviously got ground away down the road. Um, so I made trip up to Redmond, and then back. We wrapped everything. Went back to my parents. Of course, got out my Pro Eagle Kratos 3-ton jack. Shout out Mr. Chuck at Pro Eagle. Thank you for the hookup. If you do not have a Pro Eagle, you need one. Look them up, proeagle.com. Unpaid, completely unpaid solicitation there. But that jack has bailed me out a ton. It's reliable and gets the job done.
And if you care about this stuff, it's the cool one to have.
That's true also. So I was able to jack the trailer up, get under it, and not only find I needed to replace wiring from the right side brake all the way 2/3 of the way across the axle, but I also had power a power wire feed that was getting pinched intermittently because the zip tie had broken and fallen down. So I resecured it better and also fixed that so that I'd have full brakes. And then, dude, Sunday afternoon, we just hung out. My brother and sister-in-law came up to my parents because, it's only half a block. And shout out to my bro because he bailed me out with some wiring. I thought I had wiring, and it turns out it was in the box of stuff that I had left here after
Of course.
building the
Of
Razor.
course.
Yeah, so but got it all done. Um, got everything packed up and ready to travel, and just hung out with mom and pops for the evening. Had a little pizza and had a great visit. Called it a night and got up the next morning, rolled out in a brisk 40 degrees and slight mist. And I knew I was at basically 4,000 feet, but I knew I was going to be up over 5,000 feet within, 20 miles. So I was a little nervous, but, we never did see any ice, thank God.
Good.
We did have a little bit of mist, down probably the first hour and a half or so. I saw temps as low as 31
Ooh.
with still a little mist, but you just adapt and drive careful and try not to get freaked out. I've driven enough in the winter conditions, to be able to tell when things are starting to get gnarly, and the road never really started to get gnarly. So that being said, man, we dropped down into what they call the Oregon Outback. I call it the prehistoric highway because it's literally, for those of you who don't know, there's a highway that goes right up the middle of Oregon, literally right through, just like going through the middle of Nevada, almost like dry lake beds everywhere, and just signs of prehistoric giant oceans or lakes. And, they found dinosaur parts in there and stuff. So it's, my imagination always goes wild. You're driving and I'm looking up at that stuff, and you can almost see, can almost see like the plesiosaurs or whatever they're called swimming through where you're driving, Um, super cool. A lot of really cool little cowboy towns along the way. Um, and so I really enjoy that drive. Um, it's not the smoothest drive, but it usually shaves a little bit of time off. Um, and it's just beautiful. And then of course, up there in on 395, um, when you're up kind of well before 395, really, I guess it is 395. I don't know. Whatever. Kind of you drop into Northern California right there for a little bit. And there's a little gas station convenience store I always stop at, called Chimney Rock. And it's on the reservation right there, right before Alturas, California, just north, right after you cross the border almost. And super nice people, always just the greatest people, and super good patriots. And always enjoy stopping there and just saying hi. And I've been through there enough times in the last couple of years with the grinder that they recognize it now. And so it's really cool,
I mean, why have it wrapped and not get recognized?
right? And so after I rolled out of there, man, then you just roll through like more really high meadows. And like, for you Southern California city folk, it might be hard to imagine, but it's like just like crazy up there, cows everywhere. And you know it's a really beautiful area. And then you kind of hop up right around Honey Lake, and shout out Honey Lake MX is right there. Drive right past it every time. Are they still operational?
I don't know. I know that there was a AMA race going on up there within a few years. I hope so. It's a freaking beautiful piece of property, and obviously you never want to see a racetrack go away. But I know as of a few years ago they're still kicking, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, I remember Works used to race up there in the side
Yep,
by side class
yep.
and the bikes and everything. So, um, yeah, beautiful area, crazy nice. And then you hop up in the hills, and here you're in all this nice, beautiful area. And then there's Reno, um, the poop emoji in northern Nevada. So you just blast right through as fast as you can get through Reno. I shouldn't say that. Reno's a nice little town as long as you don't have to go anywhere or be anywhere. Um, but blast right through, and then man, uh, um, it's into the alien outback of Nevada, man. That whole from Fallon, Top Gun drag strip. I got the picture. I sent it to you.
Saw it, got
Yep,
it.
yep.
Thank you.
Um, and then there was some jets doing, I would guess, simulated dogfights over Fallon. Military jets, and extra shout out to our military. And that's where I believe Top Gun is held. I'm not sure, um, but or it used to be. Got to see some of that, and then man, it's right through. We called it night at the legendary El Capitan in Hawthorne, Nevada, home of the largest U.S. ammunition depot in the world!
That we
Exclamation point.
that we know of,
That we know of, yes. And that is an interesting, like you've been through there. There's bunkers everywhere, right?
for sure
Um,
haunted.
some of the areas are for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the weird thing, there's Walker Lake right there, which isn't really that deep. Very cool area. Um, but I've always wondered, why is there a naval undersea warfare base in Hawthorne, Nevada, like the middle of the Nevada desert where there's this lake. And it's not like the lake's 5,000 feet deep or something, you know?
I have some theories, but I'll keep it off this podcast. I won't drive our listeners away.
Yeah, I have some too, and they involve aliens and stuff like that. So, but everybody that knows me knows I'm a believer. So there, I said it. Um, anyway, nah, man, that's interesting area. So many like thousands and thousands of bunkers, and just insane. And then, of course, you know, it's just beautiful. I mean, you're rolling out that morning. It was cold, but it was gorgeous, just sunny as could be yesterday morning. Made good time. Was hauled ass straight down the 95, Reno to Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Um, Vegas to Reno backwards, as I like to say. And it's funny after being involved in a Vegas to Reno, you know, it's not like I'm some kind of desert racing expert or anything, but I fondly remember all where all the pits were when I went through, you know. And so going back, it's like, oh, there's pit 12. Oh, there's a turnoff for pit 10. Oh, there's where pit 9 was, you know. And again, all these little cowboy towns and mineral towns, gold towns, um, all scattered through there. So cool. Um, you know, I think I sent you the picture of the baby steam locomotive in Goldfield.
Mm-hmm. I was
Yeah,
stoked.
I know how you are about steam locomotives. So I send you a picture of that one every time I go through, I think.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
cool. I like it.
yeah, and I think that was used in an underground mine.
What a
That's why
trip.
it's so small.
Yeah, that always goes well. Smoke and steam and carbon monoxide in a mine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that was back when men
People
were
were
men.
tougher back then. It's what we had
Oh,
canaries for.
100%. So, but yeah, man, it was you know, just smooth sailing. Didn't see anything weird over Area 51. Um, they were flying drones out of Creech Air Force Base. Um, stopped at the Terribles, um, Terrible Herps. They have they're right across from Creech. They have a casino gas station that has been there quite a while. I haven't stopped there ever. So, but I stopped there this time to fuel. And Herbst, if you're listening, um, I'm really disappointed that you allow your store owners to drive the prices up to ridiculous costs of fuel. Um, you should be embarrassed. And that goes for all you Pilot, Flying J, and Loves. This is my rant. When you guys are 50 cents more a gallon for diesel than somebody in the middle of freaking Nevada, 50 miles from you, 50 miles more remote, and you're 50 cents higher, get a grip.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That is wrong. And, you know, I know there's other factors, but it really pains me to pay an extra 50 cents for your convenience and to your wallet. Rant over. Um, Other than that, man, blasted through Vegas. Good trip. Almost got me a Chrysler 300 about halfway through Vegas. Um, he didn't look before he changed lanes. And fortunately, I was paying attention. And thank God I was. And thank you, God, for keeping my mind sharp that late in the day. Ripped her on home. Here we go. Boom, we're home. Um, so yeah, dude, it was exciting. It was
I
a
got to see a
heck of
bunch
a
of
run.
family, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Take some
yeah,
time and see the people you love and eat some good food and have some good dinners and give the family the VIP experience at Endurocross. I'd say that's a win.
yeah. It was definitely a win, you know, and no real problems with the vehicle or the trailer. I mean, the brake thing. Um, I've dealt with that before, and it's something now that I'm going to have to be more mindful of looking under it, or just, every 6 months or a year replacing the ties that are holding the wiring up, or coming up with a better solution. So it's all in my mind. But at least this time when I did it, it was in front of my folks' place in 52-degree or 54-degree weather. Um, Last time I had to do it, it was at a truck stop, um, at the New Mexico Texas border. No, at the Oklahoma Texas border. Um, and it was 108 degrees out, and I had to lay on the hot pavement and fix brake wiring.
Yeah, good
So
thing you didn't black out under there. You'd have been cooked.
yeah, no kidding, no kidding. So yeah, man, and that's just a really good trip. Really, really blessed to be able to do what I do. And thank you again, Kicker, uh, for bringing me in to represent you and trusting me to represent you properly at these big nationally, internationally televised events. Very grateful. Um, that being said, man, the week before, whoo-wee. So I don't remember. Have we talked about the Formula One powerboat races?
Dude, I think so, but I I think we did.
I
We
don't.
had to, dude, I don't remember. It's
I
all
don't
kind of a blur
remember.
right
So
now.
we did the Formula One powerboat championships here in Havasu. Um, got all set up there. Um, Great weekend. Tim Siebold's a great guy. Just a legend. There's a reason he's a powerboat racing Hall of Famer. Um, the racing was insanely good. Weather held out. They ended up having to pack the entire Saturday, Sunday program into Saturday because of impending winds Sunday,
Ooh.
which actually worked out okay because I was going to have to pack up and pull out Saturday night because I had to be in SEMA Sunday. So off I went Sunday morning. It was crazy because Saturday at the event, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, 86, 87 degrees, 6 mile an hour south wind, real nice, real balmy. Get up Sunday morning and 7:15, walked out, hop in old grinder, fire up to warm up and head for Vegas. And it's 52 degrees with a 35 mile an hour sustained north wind.
No thanks.
Yeah, no, it was not pleasant. I had to drive into that headwind all the way to Vegas. Um, but got to Vegas, man. Um, Went to the beautiful Orleans where we all stay. The team stays at the Orleans. Cool old classic casino.
Home of the
Uh,
original American Endurocross.
yes, absolutely. And we'll be home of the Kicker AMA Pro Arena Cross Championships,
So sick.
March something.
Because they can go out of the arena a little bit, and before they've even had them start outside and then come into the arena, which is so cool.
Yeah, it should be great. I'm really excited for that one. Um, but anyways, yeah, we're there, and then I got the call from the boss, J Dub, saying, go ahead and come on over. So rolled over, waited in line a little bit. So my buddy that is the load master, if you will, over there for the convention center for SEMA, um, Dr. Foul Language, and he got he got me loaded in pretty quick, and so um, I think he pulled five of us in at once to offload, and before two of those other guys, for sure, before two of those guys um, even got their vehicle out of their trailer. I had stopped, dropped the deck. J Dub was out there. He jumped in. I handed him the keys. He he cut the straps loose on the driver's side. I cut straps loose on the passenger side. He backed it out and was heading to pull in. I closed the door, locked it up, and was rolling out before at least two of those guys even had their vehicle out. So, and that's part of the reason why those SEMA coordinator guys just love Team Kicker, because we don't screw around. Um,
Act
it's
like you've
like,
been there,
yep, exactly.
and you have been there.
So then, it's just a matter of finishing setup, polishing everything up. Show opened Tuesday morning. Let me see. Monday, was it Monday afternoon? Nah, might have been Tuesday morning before the gates open, before the doors open. Um, I had the opportunity to meet Shorty from the Motor Trend TV show Shorty's Garage, which I had actually met him before, but very casually at a dinner. And this time got to say hi to him, and so that was pretty cool. He wasn't looking for me; he was looking for somebody else, but who wasn't there. But at least I got to talk to him for a second, and dude, then it was on like Donkey Kong. I mean, it's SEMA, right? And it was a busy SEMA. Um, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Viking came up Wednesday, um, and just moral support, do a little running for the team, and help out wherever she could. Um, it was really cool. I got to see Charlene, the one and only Charlene Bauer, Bauer Motorsports Media, Ladies Off Road Network, and she is actually racing the Baja 1000
Nice.
um, as a co driver for the first time ever this weekend. So, and we'll get into that Baja stuff in just a minute also. But yeah, man, uh, got to see my buddy Aaron Hagar, visit with him a little bit. Couple of street outlaw guys. Uh, Dude, it was so cool, and got the nod of approval from the boss J Dub on the Razor. He was really pleased with how it came out. Made me feel really good. I put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and thought into that thing to get it where it is now. Um, and thank you to my good friends Dustin from Pro Armor, of course, Marcelo and Don from Assault Industries, BC Vot. Find them on Insta at Rotation Motorsports from Greenball GBC and Corey Ellis. Also for the tire hookup, and our good friend Glenn from Metal FX Wheels for the hookup. That car was a smash hit at SEMA. Very grateful for all that. Of course, Kicker had their Alma Gates Bronco with 9 new Solo X15s, and I believe they said 44,000 watts.
It's a lot of watts.
Dude, that thing is insane. You saw the videos.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen them, folks, go check them out on Instagram at Kicker Audio. You'll see the hair tricks they were doing. Just insane.
Yeah, that was funny. It was funny to see every single day somebody new come by and get roasted by 40,000 million gigawatts.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. And they have a really cool Sierra they built. We had a bike there. But it was really cool for me. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe this is the 5th side by side I've built that has been a feature vehicle at SEMA in the kicker booth. So super blessed, man. I can't even begin, like, that number's just as it came to me. It's like I'm speechless with how
Yeah,
blessed I am,
I
you know.
mean, obviously most people in this world won't have any vehicle there, and you're cooking right along.
It's just that blows me away, dude. I'm
You,
literally
you
blown
do
away.
nice work, so it belongs
That's
in SEMA. I don't know what to tell you.
that's crazy. That is crazy. Anyways, it was a fantastic show, and um, Kicker had a little get together there at the Orleans on Wednesday night for, of course, all their personnel, but all their dealers, all their distributors, um, all their guests, all that. Had a live band. It was a lot of fun. Great food. And just got to see all our friends that you see for 10 minutes on the show floor, you know, but you actually get to sit down and talk to them for a while. And founder of Kicker, Mr. Steve Irby, who has
Yeah.
agreed to be on this show at some point.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right? Jumped up and hopped in with the band and played, I don't know, a couple of songs in both sets on the keyboards. And that was the first time I've ever seen him play the keyboards. And I got to tell you, man, it was crazy for me that it was crazy surreal because that's really where Kicker started. Was he wanted better sound for his keyboards for his band and better sound for his church. And so you're seeing him still like the most incredible company in the world, and here he is up there just ripping on the keyboards,
I
and that's
wonder
where it all started.
I wonder if he's has trouble enjoying some venues and stuff like that, knowing how much better he could do the sound and how he could build better cabs and better amps.
You know what? You should write that down as a question for him.
I will because yeah, I feel like he's pretty peculiar or very very strict about how he wants his sound to sound.
Yeah, absolutely. And but he's so humble that I think he would probably say, "Oh no, I'm just happy with whatever anybody has."
Meanwhile,
But
he's getting eaten alive. No.
yeah, but man, they did Great Balls of Fire, and he like that keyboard needed a bucket of ice when he was done. I mean, it was crazy good. That was so enjoyable, and really fortunate to see that. And then got to hang out with Nicole Johnson. If you haven't seen her YouTube program, I believe it's called Nicole Johnson Adventures on YouTube. Um, but if you look her up, she does a great job. She's a longtime Kicker personality and a great motorsports person um, who is getting opportunity after opportunity because of who who she is and what she knows about motorsports. Um, so it's really cool. I mean, she's really talented, really. She's driven a monster truck. She's driven a real Shelby Cobra on a racetrack just recently. Yeah, it's just crazy. So, and she's a rad chick. She'd probably get mad if I called her a chick, but, and she said she'd be on the show. So at some point, I got to hit her up on that. But yeah, man, SEMA was just off the chain, just crazy good. And then, packed her all up. And of course, Hey Keeks flew in from her contract job, Raptor contract job in Oregon, flew in and was able, shout out to our girl Sandy, was able to get Keeks a day pass for Friday. So, her and the Viking were able to check out some SEMA stuff, and and we actually talked Keeks into doing a hair trick. I never could talk the Viking into it because she saw what everybody else's hair looked like afterwards. So, but yeah, man, it was just a great time, and we wrapped it all up and got home. What day did I get home? Got home Sunday and left Wednesday morning for Redmond. So, back to back to back pretty much. And
Crazy.
then, yeah, and then got home yesterday, which was Tuesday from Redmond. And tomorrow I will head around to Lake Havasu City, to the big city for the Sam Water Expo this weekend. So, be posting up with Team Kicker and Team Gator Wraps. Super excited about that. Speaking about being excited, dude, here's something we haven't covered. Big news. Our boy, Seth Quintero. What
World
about
champion.
that?
We talked about the world champion part.
Yes,
We didn't talk about the T1 part
T1.
because we didn't know. That's why we didn't talk about it.
Yes, that's so exciting. Seth, so happy for you. So proud of you. Congratulations to you and Dennis. You deserve it. You worked hard for it. Um, man, well, I can't wait to get him back on because we got to talk about this. And it's not
Yeah,
like,
pick his brain on it.
oh yeah, it's not like he got signed by you know, no
Dumb bum
name white
racing,
level
whatever.
racing. Yeah.
Yeah, literally Toyota Gazoo Racing.
Toyota Gazoo. Yeah.
Yeah, out of South
Dude.
Africa, and that's when I play Dakar. That's who I choose. So
Right.
that really means something, Seth. But yeah, what's funny is that you've known these guys for so long, and we're in a position now where you can, if you're very fortunate and talented, you can make a career out of racing UTVs. So I really never thought that any of those guys would make the jump, considering they're at the top of their field, which is way up there. So to see that news, you're the first person I sent it to. I'm like, what? Seth's, and he's not in his 40s, like some of those guys. It's like he's a young spry guy going to the T1 category, and I don't. Robbie Gordon was probably the last American we had in T1, I would think.
Bryce Menzies, I think, didn't he run a mini?
Oh, he did. He did Silkway, and then I think he did a Dakar or two. Yeah, I've totally forgot about that. I bet Bryce has even forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Well, that one year, I'm sure he wanted to. That was the year
Yeah.
that the mini wadded up on like stage 2 or stage 3 or
And
stage
he was
1
going
or
real
something.
fast.
Real fast. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man. And to be, I mean, Seth, now he's a great representative of our great country,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
or for our great country, I guess. He's just a good kid,
Yeah.
right? I shouldn't call him a kid. I mean, Jesus, he's a Dakar T1 driver now.
He's in his
Um,
prime. Yep.
but yeah, I was so excited to see that, and I'm so happy for him. He's busted his butt. He's worked hard. He's worked hard every day. I mean, since I met him when he was whatever 10 or 11, um, and I was very blessed to meet him and go, you know what, I see something here. Whatever it was, my gut or whatever. Um, maybe those years with Muzzy, maybe his eye for talent, a little paint fleck of his eye for talent rubbed off on me. But I'm just so happy for him, and there's all kinds of big news on that rally raid / Dakar front. Sarah Price
Mm-hmm.
is going
Yeah.
and has backing. Of course, we would expect AJ and Mitchie to be there. Your dude, I just saw Mason
Mm-hmm.
has picked up a big partner that's going to help him get there, I think.
Yeah, because obviously I don't know the whole story, but the opportunity he's had the last year kind of seemed like last minute, not available this year. So he was extremely bummed. I mean, I'm biased, but the dude should be on a factory ride by now. He proved it with his finish and his attitude and his, oh, I don't know, I'm just going out here and going fast. And he was in the top 10 for so many days. But anyway, yeah, so he's got a lot of believers in him, and some people willing to write checks, which is huge because it's already halfway. It's November 15th today, and Dakar starts in like a month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was big, and that did my heart good to see him, um, pumped up and about getting assistance, and I'm super excited. Their reclassification of the classes for Dakar is, I get it. I'm also like, why? But like for so many years we've known like T3, T4, and now they're going to be I don't know, extreme or something. I don't even I can't even remember.
You
Um
just couldn't leave it alone.
yeah, I read it, and it's probably FIM French thing, so whatever. We know they're messed up. We know they can't get it right, but the thing is they're going to be forced to cover the Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be spread out in almost all the classes now.
Yes, it
If
is.
you, me, and BC want to get a truck team together and we'll go race the elephant trucks, then we'll have the Americas covered.
Dude, I would in a heartbeat.
You
I
need a,
would in
you
a
know,
heartbeat.
that's the class you need to wear like an old school donut to keep your neck from rattling.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I actually have one.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I started, I wore one until the Liat came out. And then when the Liat came out, when I was on quads and racing and stuff, I wore the Liat and the EVS ballistic jacket, which the Liat didn't fit great with the ballistic
Mm.
jacket. But then Liat came out with their own jacket, ballistic jacket that their brace fit. Um, and so Viking actually got me that, um, because it used to, wearing the EVS jacket that wasn't designed for it, the way I had to tuck it in, the brace would rub on this screw head that's in my chest.
Oh, that would suck so bad.
And so, like, after a full day, I would literally almost be like metal to metal, you know?
Oh, it's so gross. Yeah, I had to
Yeah,
tape it up all
yeah,
crazy and
yeah,
had it.
mohair.
Yeah. Jeez.
but, anyways, when I started, obviously, I didn't, I've not had a Hans device. Um, and we really didn't think about it in side by sides, but with partially fused neck, I was like, okay, well, I got to have something just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran the NASCAR neck nut, if you will, um, to keep my helmet from, it wasn't a matter of head strength. It was an issue of that. It was the sharp jolts
Yeah.
and just keep the helmet stable, because when you have the lower half of your neck fused, um, you tend to be a lot more susceptible to rattling the pee around in the pod,
Yep.
and sharp, whatever you want to call it, sharp snaps.
Yeah.
So,
Tie your shoe
yeah,
too fast and you're gonna get a jolt.
yeah, that was that was quite the tangent and off-road adventure there. Whew, boy, holy smokes. Um, but anyways, man, yeah, we just dude, just crazy. Um, how much action there's been recently, how much is going on. Um, now we've got Baja going. I think they're off the line tomorrow, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, looking at the clock here, the bikes will start in 4 hours from now.
Wow.
Yep. So 1 a.m. your time. They'll be
Mountain
off the
time.
line, mountain time,
Right.
because they're
Okay.
starting in La Paz. Yep. So just for historical aspect, this is the first year they're ever running from La Paz to Ensenada. So
Yes.
yeah, just logistics get totally turned upside down. And I think it's so cool. Might as well switch it up. And La Paz is a huge fan of having the racers down there. But what's so funny? Someone said it online, I think, and they said that as far as the chase teams go, normally you only have to drive as far south as your race car makes it or your bike makes it. But now you get to do the full thing no matter what, because you're going to start in La Paz and you're going to have to work your way back to the States. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I never thought of that. And this is historic distance too, isn't it? 1,300 miles roughly.
I think it's okay, stick with me here. It's the longest 1,000 because in the year 2000 they did the Baja 2000.
Okay.
So I think it is the longest Baja 1,000.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
yeah, and then as of today, there was already three course changes because oh, we can get on a whole tangent about this, but basically there's parts of the race course that are already blown out from some of the big teams and their 900 horsepower and 40-inch tires running it for the last 10 days at full speed and using their trophy trucks to pre-run. So now the course is impassable in many locations. So yeah, like I said, we can get a whole tangent about that. I'm all about freedom, but at the same time, I'm kind of feeling like maybe we should only get one look through on pre-running maybe now and keep the farmers' roads nice so that they can still use them. But yeah, craziness. 4 hours from now, the Baja 1000 will start.
Yeah, I saw that on Fish, and thank you, Fish.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the man.
yeah, yeah, crazy good guy. I've never met him, so
I've physically seen him.
I would like to have him on the podcast someday.
He would take over the show. He's such a good.
That'd be rad.
He can even be in a room by himself, and he does great
Yeah,
videos. He's just
yeah.
got the gift of gab.
But yeah, no, I saw that. I saw some of them were situations where they were only rerouting class 11 and one other class, and another situation where they were only rerouting bikes
Yep.
and quads.
Yeah.
Where
Sorry, go ahead.
no, it looked like they were going to have to like stay on a road, on like a main road.
Mm-hmm. Which is the last thing you want when you're racing Baja. I mean, easy to say from the couch, but nobody likes the asphalt dragon, right? If you could do it 100% on dirt, that's the goal. But yeah, just nuts that some of those lines are so burned in since the map was released at the Off-Road Expo that yeah, crazy.
Yeah, a friend of mine that's down there and had done a little pre-running posted today, I think this afternoon on Facebook, um, showing some of the ruts in one of the areas, and they were virtually almost waist deep.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I'm sure I saw similar photos, but there's ones where where the guy, I mean, he's an adult and the silt is almost up above his head where he's standing in the bottom of the tire track. It's insane.
Yeah, and uh, the side by sides don't have, you don't got 40-inch tires, so
No, luckily you have the four-wheel drive, but then again, you're at very most running 37s, which is still kind of crazy in UTVs, but
mhm.
yeah, I mean it's literally doesn't make sense how anything below a UTV could traverse the terrain.
Right. And I'm it's crazy. I did send my good lucks to my buddy Craig Scanlon, Brandon Sims, Sean Cook, about the only three I think that are running. Um, other than I'll send one to Charlene, of course. Um, here this evening also. But yeah, man, just gnarly nuts for sure.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an incredible race. Excited for that. Um, yeah, just a lot of exciting stuff been happening. Um, Working on some guests lined out moving forward, and schedule, of course, next week is Thanksgiving, so it's going to be a little bit off schedule. Um, I think we should try and record a little bit earlier and maybe give you time to earlier in the week. I mean, give you time to get it out before Thanksgiving if possible. And then hopefully the following week we'll be right back on it and get back into program because we did miss a week. Sorry, folks. But
Hopefully it makes
Cole,
this one that much better.
yeah, Cole's been road tripping with some family and
Mm-hmm.
Lady
Mm-hmm.
D and checking out the Central California coast and general area,
Yep. Yep.
and got to see the Sonoma racetrack.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then I was telling you before we were recording, but I was such a big Jimmy Vasser fan growing up, and to see his car dealership, I immediately texted my dad. I was like, I just saw Jimmy Vasser Toyota.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully you had a safe trip and
Yeah, it was
everybody
great.
stayed along for the ride and
Yep. Yep. It was good. Yeah,
good.
like I said, saw Sonoma Raceway and went over by Pismo and um man, there was a lot of racing intersects within this. Oh, stopped by 805 Firestone Walker Brewery, saw them. Yeah, so I don't know, it was just a awesome trip, awesome little vacation. So very, very blessed.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I got to figure out, I have 4 days of driving. I got to figure out how I can do this. I mean, Mitch Guthrie Jr. did it. So I should be able to do this while I'm road tripping
Oh
and
yeah, no, you got
record.
this. Yeah,
It's just a matter of getting you to be able to do it
we'll figure it
during
out.
during the day.
We'll do it during a time where, yeah, we'll do it to
Yeah.
where life insurance doesn't beckon on me and and I can multitask. You might hear some road noise on your end. I might hear some math and clicking on my end, but we could make that work. That'd be kind
Well,
of
I
fun.
know it's busy season for you too. So
Luckily, it's starting to die, but yeah.
I am very, very grateful for all the time you spend doing this, Cole. And with that, I think what else you got, buddy?
Okay, so I'm just gonna run through this in literally no particular order. So hang on with me. Is this my wife calls it B brain? Formula One is this weekend in Vegas for the first time since like the 80s.
Oh, I got
And
something on that.
all right, go ahead.
We drove on what will be the Formula One track.
Yeah, did you really?
Yeah, on the streets. Yeah.
Yeah, so were you by where that new paddock is by the airport, or were you more like did you
N-
actually just ride the strip and like around the sphere and all that stuff?
Yeah, we just kind of went around the sphere because
Yeah.
one of the guys on the kicker team really wanted to see the sphere up close.
Okay.
So we came out Saturday after we packed up, came out of the convention center, went up, drove around the sphere, and then down, turned onto the, like, literally, I don't know what street it was, but they already had the concrete barriers and the catch fence up. Um, and then turned onto the strip and then got off the strip and yeah, so
Yeah, that's gonna
so
be nuts. It's they've already signed a 10-year deal to keep doing this, and
ugh.
they're having some huge issues like with the service industry people going on strike, and of course everything was late as far as getting the paddock done, and the city residents out of their tax dollars paid to repave the course, and yet Formula One's going to keep all the money, and yeah, there's hotels are like 700% off now from what they originally were when they announced the race because ticket sales are so low, and Pirelli's really worried that it's going to be too cold at 41 degrees when the race starts, that their tires aren't going to heat up and it's going to be dangerous. So that will be entertaining to say the least to see what happens with Formula One Vegas.
Yeah, I hadn't heard until today about the temperature thing. I didn't have any idea when they were racing, but I had heard plenty the about ticket sales being off, which that goes back to my scolding of Pilot, Flying J, Loves,
Yep.
and Terribles for price gouging.
Yeah.
And that's if you're gonna be immoral about something, you're gonna pay the price.
Yeah, and it's funny, like people who originally booked their hotel rooms are canceling and then rebooking at like I said, like paying a seventh of what they paid last year when they announced this thing going down.
Yeah, it's funny, a little insight, along for the ride insight. I'm through one of the hotel groups that I stay in often. Um, I'm a double diamond,
Oh.
which makes me a Caesar diamond.
Oh.
Um, so I got an offer right after they announced it from Caesars for a VIP package, which is like your average uh, king suite. I can't remember what hotel it was at, but Paris or Caesars or something. King mini suite, VIP package tickets, with paddock access and everything.
Oh wow.
And it was smoking special diamond pricing, $7,500 a night,
Oh my gosh, dude.
minimum 4 nights.
So stupid.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys are smoking dope.
And you want to hear something, speaking of smoking dope, so if if hotels didn't buy into Formula One and pay their whatever fee, their Formula One is shining lights into the hotels. So if you have a room that can see the track, you won't be able to watch the race.
I heard about that. Yeah, yeah,
That's
it's
so
crazy.
crazy. So
And yet
stupid.
they're so yeah. Anyway,
And I
well,
love racing more than anybody besides maybe you. And I'm like, man, this thing isn't going well, you know?
yeah, it just looks bad.
Yeah.
It's just a bad view from the outside.
Yeah.
Um, it screams of greed.
It does. No, it literally does. It's which I guess is could be fitting for the city,
For
but at the same
well,
time,
I think it's more fitting for Formula One
oh duh.
actually,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I mean, it's just a shame. Like,
yeah.
uh, be a decent race series, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Um, I wish them all the best. What time does the race start?
Starts at midnight on Saturday. So like Saturday night, Sunday midnight, you would call it.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so qualifying is Friday night at midnight, and then the pre-race stuff starts at like 9 or 10, and then yeah, they're racing like 11 o'clock midnight on Saturday
Why?
because the city, the lights, the illustriousness, the whatever, you know. But Pirelli's like, oh God, we don't have any heat for this rubber.
I had no idea they were
Yeah,
racing at midnight.
yeah, and they're like I said,
No wonder it's
they're
a huge
qualifying.
issue.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah,
realize they're still like whatever Vegas. What's Vegas at? 3,000 feet, 2,500 feet.
not nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be 40 to 41 degrees, so that's chilly. The cars will
Yeah.
run good. They just won't stop or turn.
Maybe those guys should get. Maybe they should get like throw Tony Stewart in one, and you know, maybe a couple of those guys that know how to drive a loose car.
That man is
Um,
planted. Yeah, he could figure
get
it.
get rid of all these you know
I'm,
overpaid babies
I mean,
and
he does business with Gene Haas, who owns a Formula One team, so it's
yeah,
not too crazy to, you know, you have to build a bigger seat for him, but
get a lot bigger than it used to
we,
be.
we can make it work. Uh,
Anyway,
but yeah, moving on, quickly
yeah,
listing. Yeah, we've gone over it 10 times already, but the Baja 1000 is 4 hours away from now, which is super exciting.
yes,
My dad's good friend Ruben Garcia will be in the 1669 car, so it's nice. Besides all of our along for the ride guests who are participating. It's cool that we got some even more guys in 1600 class. Rattling on, ISDE, the Americans absolutely killed it at the International 6-Day Enduro. They won the trophy class, the women won their class, and the Americans won the junior class. So
Awesome.
awesome for the American team down in International 6-Day Enduro. It's very exciting, especially considering we haven't had the best of luck at the Motocross the Nations last few years. So it's nice that the headlight bikes are getting some recognition.
Yes.
I think there's a district. I know there's a District 38 race this weekend. I just got to keep reminding myself to get up on Saturday and go do that with Jake. So that'll be good. The Veterans Day Dash. Little more of a somber note. 10 years today since we lost Kurt Caselli at the 1000, and silver lining, the world in motorsports, especially when it comes to two wheels, has absolutely changed for the better since that's happened. The Caselli Foundation was founded right away. They're all for rider safety. I know you got a flag sitting there somewhere in your office. A lot of the Baja stuff that's going down this week, like as far as how they track bikes, a lot of that came from Kurt's unfortunate passing. So, sincerely miss him. 10 years of the day just doesn't even feel real. And unfortunately, on a continuing somber note, the off-road world lost Kyle LeDuc this last week after a very aggressive battle with cancer. The fellow off-road racers and the motorsports community said doesn't matter what he did in a car. He was incredibly talented and special, but he was just such an amazing human being, as they are in the LeDuc family. So Kyle, you will absolutely be missed.
Yeah, for sure. And our thoughts and prayers with the LeDuc family for sure. I never had the opportunity to meet Kyle. I did meet Kurt. I was able to talk to him in the past, and definitely somber and 42 years old. Family and cancer sucks.
Yeah, it's you can say that till you're blue in the face, man. It doesn't care who you are. It was just it didn't matter if you rooted for the Greaves or the LeDucs. It's always been so cool to have those guys battle each other for so many years over multiple generations. So yeah, just once again, Kyle, I never had the pleasure to meet him as well. But the rest of the world has made it very clear what a special person he was.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. So, without a doubt. With that, go hug your family. Tell your friends you love them. Give them a hug every time you see them. Don't be afraid to tell someone you love them, you appreciate them. Nothing's promised.
Nope.
So want to thank our partners, Kicker Performance Audio. Find them online, kicker.com, on Instagram @Kicker Audio. Bomber Floating Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear, Bomber Eyewear. Find them online, bombereyewear.com, on Instagram @Bomber Eyewear. Of course, the Premix Podcast. Find them on Instagram @The Premix Podcast. That's the @ symbol. ThePremixPodcast. Kelsey Morrell Film. Find her on Instagram @Kelsey Morrell Film. And of course, Hey Keeks Marketing. Find her online, heykeeks.com, or on Instagram @Hey Keeks Marketing. Be sure and look us up on YouTube, MAddOG space media. Check it out. YouTube podcasts Along for the Ride will be there. And of course, follow us on Instagram @AFTR. That's Along for the Ride, AFTR_podcast. Be sure to
Rate, review, subscribe on your favorite streaming platform.
I think we'll close this one out with a deep, deep thank you to our veterans, our people in blue, our service people all around the world, former POWs, families of MIAs and KIAs, our racing community. Reach out and hug someone in the racing community,
Yep.
folks. We're all hurting right now, you know, and say a prayer for the LeDuc family. We appreciate every single listener, every download, every stream. Mad Dog out.